For Muay Thai 101 for digital media video project. So today we're going to be showing you proper fight stance, how to throw your punches, how to throw your kicks, how to properly defend the punch, and first we're going to start in the stance, then move on to the striking and defense. We're going to use a proper Muay Thai stance to be used in MMA as well. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our feet right. So you want to stand at a good shoulder length apart. If you're a right foot, or if you're predominantly right-handed, you want to take your left foot, step forward, and the opposite if you're left-handed. So if you're left-handed, you take your right foot forward. But since I'm a righty, I'm going to take my left foot forward, and from this point, you want to get on your toes on the right foot and turn it slightly at a 45-degree angle, and you want to make sure you're on your toes. That's important. And then bend your knees so you have a good solid base. You don't want to be leaning forward too much or leaning back, because then you can be easily knocked down. So once you're here, make sure everything's nice and steady, and we'll move up to our upper body. Alright, so you want to have your fists nice and tightly clenched. Make sure they're directly below your eyes, just so you can see your opponent. You don't want them up here, because then, how are you going to fight someone if you can't even see him? So once you're here, make sure your elbows tucked in to cover your chest and your body. So once you're here, make sure your chin is tucked like this, almost like you want to give yourself a double chin. If you don't want to get punched through the jaw and get knocked out. So once you're here, make sure you roll your shoulders, and you've got a good Thai stance. Alright, so first thing you want to do when you're attacking is I've already showed you the proper fight stance. So you want to get in your stance. This is what's called home. You always want to go home after every punch. So the first punch I'm going to show you is your left arm. So this is called your one. So to do your one, you want to start here, and you want to extend your elbow all the way, and at the last second, turn like that. So again, boom. Notice I'm turning at the very last second, and I'm here. You want to make, and your one, it's almost like a measuring stick to see if you're in range of the guy. This is what most fighters used to set up all their combos. So I'm here, here, and when you're doing your one, when you punch, notice how I'm bringing my shoulder up to block my chin, so that way I can't get caught with a hook. So now I'm just going to do a couple of demonstrations. One. So now we'll move on to your power hand, which is, for most people, it's going to be their right arm. So when you're doing this, it's very important that since if you're not turning your hip, you have no reach on the guy. So you want to twist your hip to give you that extra inch forward. And when you're doing it, you turn your hip and you want to rotate the ball of your foot down here. So when you're doing it, rotate the hip, but also get the ball of your foot turning. This is what gives you that extra couple inches to reach the guy's face. So I'm here, so same thing. Move forward, the last minute, turn. Boom. You how to properly defend the punches that I just taught you how to throw. So first thing we're going to do is he's going to throw his left. So I'm going to be blocking it with my right, so go ahead and throw that on. A couple more times. Alright, so pretty much the basics to this one. Always hands up. And when you're blocking it, all you want to do is just turn your wrist a little bit. Don't reach out for it. Just turn it a little bit to absorb the punch. Because if you're reaching out, almost like a lever, watch what happens. I get punched in the face. So when I'm closer to my face, and I don't reach out for it, even if he doesn't do it, I'm still not punched in the face. But if I go here, and he doesn't throw it, he's just going to punch me in the face. So go ahead. Knocked out. So that was your first block. So second, I'm showing you how to defend the power hand. This one's really important because this is the hand that will knock you out. So from here, one more time. Alright, so the basics to this one is you want to be right here, and when you're bringing it up, notice how I'm covering my own chin with my shoulder, with my shoulder again. So I'm here, and here, and you want to be able to see your opponent still. So, I'm not obstructing my vision in any way. So when I'm bringing it up, and you almost want to lean into the punch. It's kind of absorb some of the impacts from here. And I'm almost like going into you a little bit. Pretty basic. And that's how you defend the 2 punches we just showed you how to do. I'm going to show you how to do your kicks, and when it comes to kicks, there's the left leg obviously and your right leg. You only have 2 legs. So the first thing we're going to do is going to show you your roundhouse kick, which is your back leg, which in my case is my right foot. If you're a lefty, it's going to be the opposite foot. So we're in our fight stance now, and it's important when you're doing this, you take a little baby step like this, do this foot. So you're here, you're here. And when you're turning, you want to make sure you pivot your hips, and that you're rotating on the ball of your foot. So you're here, just like that. So again, step, rotate your hips. It's important to always keep your hands up, because if you're throwing your kick and your hands are down, the guy's just going to punch you right in the face. They're going to punch me in the face, and then I'm knocked out, and that's the fight. So always keep your guard up at all times. Remember to always go home.